So Pete, we've done a lot of exploring at this year's Tokyo Game Show.
I know where you're going with
But
this. I know where you're going.
You have been the #1 explorer.
Yes, because I got to play Final Fantasy Explorers.
What is that?
So it's a 3DS game. It's not been announced for the West yet. Actually, like Bravely Second has not been announced for the West yet. But so this game is a 3DS game. It is a lighthearted multiplayer, like, you know what? It's kind of reminiscent of Final Fantasy 14.
Like an MMO?
Yeah. Well, I don't know that I'd call it an MMO. I don't know that Kevin Van Orde would call it an MMO. But it's a multiplayer online RPG.
Okay.
And it's a class-based game. It's sort of, steeped in all the sort of Final Fantasy, accoutrements that we're used to, like, the same classes that they're always there. Like, I had a chocobo in my party, like.
But you control one person rather than a party of people.
Yeah.
Right.
But you go with a party of friends out and you tackle missions, you tackle quests and things like that.
So tell me about the combat, if that's like one of the biggest things about it.
Yeah, it's real-time action-based combat. So all the 4 face buttons do a they command a certain ability. If you hold down the L button or the R button, it brings up a second and third set of abilities.
Oh, cool.
So you can have up to 12 at a time, but I believe you can actually have up to 16 if I'm not crazy. Because I think there was a time where you could press both L and R and it would bring up a 4th menu, but I think that's reserved for attacks that are only available like once in a while.
What kind of classes did you play?
I only played the Knight because the demo was pretty short, but there's a Knight, there's a Monk, there's an Archer, there's a Black Mage, there's a Ninja. One of the strangest things about it that definitely gives it that lighthearted feel apart from everything else, which also does, is the fact that at certain points during a battle, I was fighting Ifrit in like this, who's sort of like this fire demon that's classic to the series.
They love showing off Ifrit.
They love Ifrit, every freaking demo. But during that battle, there was this icon, and the person who was sort of guiding me through the demos in Japanese, she was like, push that button, you get to turn into a classic Final Fantasy character.
What?
So essentially, what'll happen is, it's almost like a limit break in Final Fantasy VII.
Right,
I think there's a meter that builds up, and then at one point you can press this, and a character that I think you've designated beforehand, you turn into him. So I turn into Cloud.
That's awesome.
All of a sudden, I'm a little version of Cloud,
crazy.
and you get to have his moves. Like, some of the basic commands are the moves that you would chose for your regular character, but on top of that, like I did, remember Omni Slash? It's like one of his limit breaks. Like, I did that on an enemy, right? And I know like Squall is going to be there, and I think, I can't remember any other characters.
Say Locke.
Locke, yeah, you want Locke?
Yeah,
I'm all about
Locke.
butts.
Butts? Oh, of course. So that's crazy. So it's completely separate to all the other games, obviously. So this is like best of, really? It's like a Final Fantasy you just play because you just love Final Fantasy?
Yeah, it's just like a simple little playground. Like, I kind of liken it to Theatrhythm in my head because it takes takes all these things and just combines them in a game that isn't trying to be like this serious like thing that's like innovative and like this groundbreaking RPG. It's just a fun way to kind of enjoy the series and all the various things that you may like about it.
So Final Fantasy fans, this is a game for them to just enjoy Final Fantasy in a different way.
Yeah, but I bet you even if you're not a fan, you might enjoy it anyway because the controls are responsive, it's colorful, the art style is really easy to enjoy, and it just seems like a good multiplayer, like dungeon crawling experience.